again, and welcome to my kitchen, or I guess it's Christina's kitchen. I'm kind of taking over her kitchen today. I'm extracting the honey that I got off the hives a few days ago, and in the past I've had a hand crank extractor, and it took a long time, took most of the day. This year I got an electric extractor, so we'll see how it works. I do wish that I had a garage or a shop that I could do this extraction in, and then I wouldn't have to take over the kitchen and get it all messy and have to clean it all up, but I don't, so this is where I do it. However, if this channel were to become successful enough that it would allow me to build a garage or build a shop, that would be fantastic. I don't really suspect that it will ever get that successful, that I'll actually be able to do that, but if you wanted to like and subscribe to the channel to help me out with that, I would not complain. You could share it with all of your friends and family with the hashtag Build Gareth's Shop, or maybe the hashtag Save Christina's Kitchen. So anyway, let's get going extracting this honey. Okay, so this is a typical frame, all capped with wax, and that's honey underneath. So we will get out the electric knife. Alright, I've got this extractor loaded up. This extractor is supposed to be able to do 4 tangential frames along with 4 radial frames. So we'll see how this goes. I know that I'm going to have to hold it down because you never have the extractor completely balanced. But we'll see how this goes. We'll let that go at 50 RPM for a little bit. As the honey spins out, it becomes more and more balanced, and we can turn up the speed a little bit. So we'll let this go. All right, this one side of these tangential frames are all spun out. Looks pretty dry. Turn that around. Okay. We're gonna open this up and let the honey flow. That looks like a very light honey. Okay, here we are uncapping. You have probably seen on other YouTube videos or shorts or whatever where they just show with one fluid stroke of the knife they get all the caps off of the frames, and well, that is not reality. Reality is something more like this. You might occasionally get a frame where we're able to get a whole bunch off all at once, or the whole frame all at once.
But usually it's more like this, where you get little bits and pieces. Kind of makes me think that maybe I should make a video, one of those comparison videos of reality versus social media, you know, of uncapping frames, or reality versus social media of beekeeping. It's not all as easy and nice and fluid and as some of the videos out there make them seem. See, this one is more like reality. Some frames are this way, you know. And then there's things like that happen too. So, anyway, yeah. Doesn't always go according to plan. And you fight with them a little bit. But we get to it. We get it all off eventually. And what we don't get off with the knife, we use the scratcher to get the rest of it. Right. Well, this bucket is just about full. It's just about time to swap out to the next bucket. Now, you may have seen other beekeeping videos where they've filtered through one of these filters coming straight out of the extractor and into the bucket. I did that once, and now I do it a little differently. You can see all of that wax that is in the honey. If we were to filter that straight out of the extractor through a filter into the bucket, the filter clogs up really fast, and then it takes forever to get it all done. So I don't know if other beekeepers that have made videos like that are just showing that in the video and then they actually filter it later. I don't know. That could be one of those reality versus social media deals. Anyway, so we filter ours after the fact. If you'll hold on just a minute, we're going to show all of that process here when we're done extracting. Okay, I just finished spinning out the last of the frames, and it took a few hours. I think that we ended up with, close to 15 gallons. I filled up 2 5-gallon buckets, a 3-gallon bucket, and I think this is a 4-gallon bucket, which might be just shy of half full when all of this honey gets drained out of the extractor. So some of the frames were a little light. Like, I think the bees were a little lazy on some of those frames, didn't fill them all the way up. Just kidding. Bees weren't lazy. The bees do what they do. Sometimes we like to think that we're in control, we're keeping the bees, we're managing the bees, but really, the bees just do what they want to do. Okay, so that takes care of all of the extraction. But don't go anywhere, because we're not done. There's still work to do. We still have to get this filtered in bottles. So hold on, that's coming up in just a second. Okay, here we've got our 4 buckets of honey. They've been sitting here for a few days, and all of the wax has been floating up to the top. And pull this off and you can kind of see what we've got inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scrape this stuff off the top and put it just in another bowl or something that I can throw away. And then we can filter it without having all of this wax clog up the filter. So here we go. Scrape all this all over to one side and we can start scooping it out. We're not going to get all of the wax off the top of this, but we'll get the vast majority, and it'll just prevent this from going through the filter. Now, I don't know how other people might do this. This is just what I've kind of figured out over the years for myself. So if any of you have a different process that works well, that you think might work better than this, let me know in the comments, because I would be happy to try something that's easier or better if you've got a way. That's 1 bucket. I've got 3 more buckets to go, and then we're gonna filter it. So that's coming up in just a second. All right, we are ready to filter. So we are just going to open up the honey gate. Let the honey flow.
Well, here's the final result of our 17 gallons of honey that we got. We put most of it in these quart jars just because this is easier for Christina to use in her cooking and making smoothies, etc. So we've used some of it already to can our applesauce and apple pie filling. Put some in jars. We put some in these bottles so that we could give away to people. But I have sold it in the past, but haven't done that for several years. So anyway, this is it. It is beautiful, beautiful golden honey. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.